Okay, y'all. Here we go. A little small technical difficulty on the video team. But here we go. We're gonna get it in. And we're gonna begin at the top. And we've already gone for the warm-up. Always recommend you warm up at least 5 to 10 minutes prior to your session. But you can use your session as a warm-up. And if you're already advanced past where we're beginning at the beginning, at the beginners. I start my classes this way each time. You know, if you've been already working out and you come to my class, then I need to see you doing the simple movements and simple things, and then I can tell how advanced you are. And then while you're in my class, then we'll participate accordingly, and then I'll follow you beyond where you are. But we advance in 3-week increments most of the time. 3 weeks at one phase, 3 weeks at another phase, 3 weeks at an additional phase, progressing, always improving and getting better. And then the last week is a week that I turn over for evaluation and doing what you want to do. And sometimes we break it down to 2 weeks, depending on how advanced the people are, and if they're returning students. You know, I may move it to 2 weeks and move, and then leave those last few weeks as something to observe you for a couple of weeks, and then do an evaluation week at the end. But this time we're doing it at 3 weeks if we get into it, and 2 weeks later. If you follow along here and you want to advance past, fine. But I may only come on once a week to put on the video and then post it on some type of media. But here we go. We're going to begin at the beginning, and there's 12 exercises on our card, but I modify them to 14. So here we go. I'm gonna keep that with me. So the first one is the lateral arm extension. You get your arms out in front of you, and if you have a problem with your shoulders or your arms or holding your arms up, we're going to begin at the beginning with only 6 repetitions. And like I said, it took about 18 to 20 minutes to get through it. So if you want to do a 50-minute session, you can go try, twice and see how far you are. Go through them once, and then go back from the back to the end, or go back to the beginning and go back through them again. See how far you can get with that time. And then if you feel like doing a third one, go right ahead. But certainly it's based on what you're doing. But we're just going to do one. Here we go. And we do the arms. We go spread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're doing slow enough so that you can see and feel and get that mind-body connection with what's happening to your muscles. If you haven't done anything all winter, been doing a lot of sitting around, well, this is a chance to get you to see and evaluate yourself, and then advance on. Speed ain't what it's all about. I have some people who love to do it fast, and that's okay if that's their way. Once they get past my instructions and doing their own free time, they can go as fast as they want. And there's some fast twitch muscles that like that. The arms are one of them, and so it's okay to do it, but that's not where we're starting. Okay, that's number one. Also, I want to share that you can do them with one arm at a time, so that you can see which arm, if both your arms are moving in a good way, the same way. But if one only goes a certain distance and the other one can go way out, then don't go way out with one and short with the other one. Go short with the one and just as short as the other one. Keep them both the same, and then the muscles will begin to, and nerves will begin to get in balance and stay the same. I'm not going to do a whole lot of time waving and saying hi, but I will acknowledge. Hey, Tim. Those who coming on with me. Okay. So the second one is the loop band or pull down. Later on, we're going to move to bands, but this one is just so you get your loop. I want to move my chair back. Oh, and I always say you want to make your environment as safe as possible. Have an understanding if you happen to lose your balance. A good stance, about shoulder width apart, is good to keep your balance. The closer your feet are together, the easier it is to lose your balance and fall over And if you have a balanced mind-body absence in the body, you lose your balance real easy, or that there's some things going on, make sure you get your physical. And I have some forms, if you're going to sign on with me, that is hold harmless and informed consent that you've been told. And you hold me harmless for showing you some stuff that exercise may cause some of your creaky bones to creak a little more before they get better. So, all right, but just make the environment safe. If you happen to lose your balance, what I say, if you're losing your balance, just stop, hold yourself as much as possible, lower your center of gravity, and don't just fall over. You know, remember to stop, drop, and roll as the firefighters taught us. That's what I used to teach. But stop, stoop, lower your center of gravity, and then roll to the meaty part of the body. You know, don't just fall down on your hip. Don't just twist your knee and fall down on your knee and drop down on your wrists, elbows. And, you know, make it a slow move as possible, okay? So there's your safety tip. And the second one's the loop band, or the pull down, or the lat pull down, we call them. So arms extended above the head, pulling your elbows, having the arm in line with the ears and the shoulders, and the hands in line with the shoulders, pulling your elbows toward the waist. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And remember, all this is involved in strengthening the full body, but the thorax and the core. You know, a lot of people thought the core was just right here, but the core extends from the base of the skull down to the tip of the spine. So just know the most is involved for this, and to strengthen up some hips and legs. We got some leg stuff in there too, so just know that. And that was number 2. Okay, number 3 is a seated one. It's a bicep curl, but we can do it standing up. I'm gonna do them standing up today. So number 3 is a seated bicep curl, and any of these exercises can be done from a seated position. I have a video over on YouTube, Sitting and Getting Fitter. Go over on YouTube and search me out. Love to have their loud mufflers. But go and search it out, and these are going to be on YouTube, and just search me out on YouTube if you want to review them. And you don't want to come back on Facebook and do it, and you can fast forward through to the exercise and get past my talking. But I'm going to do this one standing up, and it can be done with the palms facing forward, palms facing in a natural side or facing each other position, or with the palms facing down or behind you. Either one of those are okay, but it works you'll see if you move your arm in a different way, you'll see the muscles that it's working more when it's in that position. So we're going to begin with these with the palms facing up, because it's about the bicep curl. We're curling the bicep, and everybody else is going along for the ride. So we go together. 1, 2, chest up, abs tight, glutes tight, good stance, body's right. 5 and 6. Okay, same thing about having one arm. If one arm is bothering you more than the other one, and you can only curl one this far, only curl the other one that far. But if they both can come all the way up, take them both all the way up. And, you know, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I finally figured out why they have all them mirrors in the gym and exercise places. You know, I don't really like to talk to seniors about workout. Some of us shy away from that word workout, so I've changed my word to exercise sessions and that kind of thing. But all those mirrors so we can see ourselves and see if we're doing the movements properly without having a trainer. We're our own trainer in the mirror. And if you want to be vain with it and say, oh, look at me, then okay. But that's not what I'm here for. Okay, the 4th one is similar to the first one, but this one, you keep your hands out, but elbows at the side. You know, if your side is out here, fine, we're going to make it get in here. So put your elbows down at your waistline, hold them in as tight as possible, and it's like opening up a book or opening up a fan or a door, you know, a sliding door or window that used to open like that. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, with the single arm, if you want to do something with single arm, you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the same principle, if your arms only go a certain way because the shoulder is a little tight and you got some rotator cuff muscles and involvement or something going on in your elbows, you know, just take them as far as they'll go together and don't worry about trying to overdo it. Okay, that's number 4. Now number 5, and I'll say get outside as much as possible. You know, get outside and get you some fresh air. I'm going to show some other things later that you can hold on to, but right now I got the pole is right here. And later on we're going to not hold on to it, but right now we're holding on to it in the beginning. And these are called the standing hip abduction, which means the hip out, away from the body. Abduct is away. Tim, you remember that stuff as a trainer. 1, I want you to see my whole leg, so here we go. 2, 3, stand up as straight as possible. 4, 5, and 6. Okay, if you have some bad knees like me, and one of them, you know, I just came from my walk, you know, go gingerly, and you don't have to go out so far. As long as you're moving them out, you're doing good until you can do better. Then we move over on the other side and go out with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and this is going to come in with the first modification because our sheet only has front and back. I mean, side and back. We add a front to ours as well. So this one is back. So back to the other leg you began with. 1, 2, tighten up them glutes and all that stuff. 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so I teach something for men and women. You know, women can stand up straight. Some of the men you can bend over. That way the glutes don't get such a curl. You know, I don't like no curl in my glutes. I like for them to be straight and teardrop down. So I don't want no curl in my glutes at all. So that's another way you can modify. If you want the curl, fine. I knew a guy that wanted his curl, but that's another story. Okay, and this one is back. 1, 2, 3, and it's easier on your back too. 4, 5, 6. You know, some women are shaped like that, you know, and when you have it in like that, that puts a lot of torque on that lumbar spine, and I have some lumbar spine issues, so I don't want mine out torqued in like that. So that's another reason. And now we come back to the other side, and this is the first modification, as I said, to go straight out, because that's how we walk. You know, rise up on the other leg. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I didn't say it, I'm gonna say it again. I can't say it enough. Whenever the weather is good, get outside as much as you can and feel good. I've been an outside child all my life, and I'm still an outside old head. So, okay, if you can't stand to be out in the sun like that, don't do it. But find your safe place with enough room to do your exercise in your home, and do it inside or wherever you have. If you have a special room in your home for that, then there you go. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, that was our first modification. So that was 7 exercises. We come into number 8, but number 7 on the sheet. And this one is a seated one. So I'm gonna come back to the middle, and we don't really do this one standing up. You probably could. Tim, you probably remember the frog. If we wanted to do this one standing up, we could do the frog like we used to, or whatever, but that's not. All right. Or the funky chicken or something like that. But that's not what we're doing right here. So, and this one involves a seated abduction, which is just moving the legs to the outside. You know, if you've been sitting a lot and women sit with their legs mostly closed like that a lot. A lot of men sit with their legs open, some don't. Some cross. You know, I don't cross my legs. That's something I don't do and haven't really done, and I don't recommend it because it makes the hip adduct. It draws the pelvis toward the middle, and that's not a good thing. I see people doing that, and that's not a good thing for a trans, but that's just me. Okay, then we open and close. 2, 3, 4, working the outside, 5, and 6. Okay, number 9, which also I don't do lunges. You know, some people do those lunges and have to do all that stuff, and that look good when they get the rhythm and they jumping around and going on. Well, I don't do that, and I don't teach that, so this is another modification. If you want to do lunges, go right ahead. Feel free to do them and go down as low as you can go and feel it. My menisci can't stand that, and my bone on bone, my knees say, oh, don't do that. So what I do and what I modified it to show is a side step, because we do take a side step to go around things or to go around somebody when we're walking in the store or whatever. And it's good to have that side step ability. You know, if you're holding on to your cart and driving in the grocery store, you can step to the side and, you know, put your weight on one foot and do the other one. Same thing. 2, 3, 4, weight on the other side. Now that's 4. That was 5. 6, and then we're getting strengthening up that leg one on the other, each one, as we shift our weight one side to the other. Again, you know, and you don't have to step all the way wide. If you want to step wide, fine, but you don't have to. Okay. And I want to say right here, if you have been sipping on water, which is I recommend is an okay thing to do if you hydrate, which I normally would have, but right now I'm fasting, so water goes through me real fast. So I don't do it while I'm exercising because I don't want to be running to the bathroom during my session. But if you're okay with your water transfer, then certainly hydrate through those first few. But from here on, from 10 through 14, no hydration, because the position we're going to be in could cause some regurgitation and burping, and we don't want that water to burp up or come up while we're doing it. And don't take in too much, about a sip, just enough to rinse your mouth out, and if you get dry, just enough to rinse your mouth out and keep it salient or keep it watery, rather than like you know, biting on some dust. So these ones going down to the floor. So I'm going to move the camera down, change the angle a little bit, move my chair back. Pardon me for turning my back on you. If I turn my back on you, that's not my intent. Or if I hold my feet up and looking at the bottom of someone's feet is against your whatever protocols, then I apologize for that. The sun is in my eyes, so I can't really see my camera. Let me hold that up. Yep. All right. So here we go. So this is the flutter kick. You know, I know Tim remember that swimming pool, and you on with me, so I'm giving you a little shout out. But remember, we used to do the flutter kick in our swimming lessons, sit on the side of the pool and flutter kick. Well, this is not that. It's similar to that, but just laying back on your back, keeping your spine out of it as much as possible, and you can put your hand underneath your glutes or your buttocks and go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And keep your head down on the mat. Try not to strain your neck, and always keep the neck in a neutral position, because this is not a neck exercise. Okay, that was the flutter kick. The next one is the loop band bicycle. I forget what we used to call them, but you know, elbow to knee. Okay, and I like to see us keep our neck on the ground, because a lot of times we strain our neck and it takes the bend, the curve out of the S curve out of the neck. So keep that neck on the ground and just bring your elbows as far close to your knee as you can. If you can't get them, if you can't get your elbow to your knee because of your belly, fine. Then touch your belly, and pretty soon you're gonna go past your belly and down to your thighs, and then down to the knees. And pretty soon you maybe even put the elbows on your toes. But here we go. Knees up. And if you can't cross them over, fine. Just touch the one you can. 2, I'll do them both ways. 3, 4, 5, 6. You can cross over. 1, 2. Mine can't get all the way. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So that was the loop band bicycle. The last two, which is 13 and 14. If you cannot do a plank, which is like a push-up position, if you cannot get down this position all the way, you know, you can get on your knees and then just bring them up like this. Okay? Can you see me there? 1, 2, that way. But if you can get up on in a push-up position, come on up and go 1. You don't have to go fast. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's good to have on a good tight fitting pair of shoes, nothing that slip off, or flip-flops or sandals, or you can go barefoot on your mat, something that won't slip. If your socks or stockings will slip, take them off, put on something that won't slip. The next one is also from that push-up position, but if you cannot get up on your arms like this, then this one can be done like so. That's a modification. Okay, if you can't get on your wrist for some reason, come on down to your elbows and do 6 over here. 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do each one of them in a different place. 5, 6. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then if you can't get all the way up in a push-up position, you can get here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And from the plank position, alternating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I do have some shoulder issues from all them football hits I used to make. This was the one I really injured on the collarbone, but now this one is compensating, and it's worse than the other one. I have some issues with my shoulders, but that's it, y'all. Hey, Calvin, appreciate you coming back. Hey, my friend Howard, Chief, I appreciate you coming on with me. And like I said, if you want to review it and pull it off, I'm going to do one a week and post it over on YouTube. And it's going to be the same thing for the next 3 weeks. I recommend, or the agency and ACE and all those organizations like that, recommend we do 3 to 5 times a week, 30 to 50 minutes a day. If you can get it in, my friend. Thanks for coming on with me, y'all. Tim, Howard, Calvin, and Tim, Howard, Calvin, anybody else that comes on. I'll post it tonight over on YouTube, and you can use it tomorrow and do the same thing. We'll be doing all the same thing. If we modify it at all, it'll be next week. All right. See y'all. Send me a message if you want to message me individually, because I can't protect your information. Message me individually or at themissionmatters@yahoo.com, and I will answer all your personal questions. And if you want me to follow you as a trainer, I will send you the forms of the whole harness agreement, the informed consent, and the health questionnaire, and we'll follow you for 10 weeks as well. I appreciate you. All right. God loves you, and so do I. Bye, y'all.